Okay, so let me just say this. It's been a week. It has been a week, but I'm okay with that because today is March 1st. It is it's National Women's History Month. Yeah, yeah, there you go. It's Women's History Month. Okay, so here's what we got to do. I love how stuff, the moment you get into something, things go awry. So let's do this. Let's play some theme music and we will jump right into the show. Okay. I don't know what's been going on lately with a couple of things. And one of those things just happens to be um Facebook. For whatever reason known to man. It just lately it's been acting a little wonky. So I can tell you this. We are streaming live to LinkedIn and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, I would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe. And oh, but wait, who am I? I'm your host, Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack, and this is Girl. Listen. Ah, yes. So as I was saying, before, I noticed all of the foolishness that wants to go down at the beginning of the show. Can't tell you why. I'm not really concerned. Not going to even tell you that. It is History Women's Month. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting. I have some things planned for this month, but this will be interesting to see what all happens because we've had a lot going on just last month in regards to women. So today, I'm not going to go into a deep dive. Not today. I'm gonna restrain myself. I'm going to leave it for next week because we're going to get into some stuff. But first, of course, have to recognize our community that is here. My mother is here. Thank you, Mother, because she is always on time. Love how Mother shows up, that she is always on time to support her kids because, parents would do that. Parents would definitely do that. So I definitely want to shout her out. And because we are on the slightly tired side, I'm not going to lie to you people. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm slightly tired. As I said before, I'm not always drinking. Like, I'm not an alcoholic. Not saying that. But I do enjoy a little cocktail here and there, a little sparkling wine, a little wine. But today, because I can, I'm do a little Topo Chico. You know what I'm saying? A little Topo Chico is what we do. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get some room. Hold on there, guy. There we go. Get focused there, guy. Because it wants to find my face. There we go. A little Topo Chico, a little tangerine with, what is this? Ginger extract. Yeah, it's delicious. Delicious. So if you're a Topo Chico, sparkling water, mineral water kind of person, this would be right up your alley. Let me just say that. So let's get into it. Again, happy Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month. You know how there are conversations that people have, and you see it. I think it's so ridiculous. You see these conversations where they say, why isn't there a man's history month, and why is there a Black History Month? You really don't even have to answer those questions. I choose not to answer them because I just think they're ignorant. That's some ignorant stuff. Some ignorant stuff right there. It's so beyond ridiculous. We know exactly why we have to do what we do. Take a look at the environment that we're in. Why do you think we need to stop and spotlight what Black persons have done, Hispanic Americans have done, Indian Americans have done, like all of it? There's a reason why we do that. So let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Hey, shout out to Serena, who is also here. Happy Friday to you, ma'am. Happy Women's History Month. I've got something planned. I'm gonna tell you guys right now what I have planned. Because with all the stuff that is happening here, with all that is happening, I feel the need to stand on my soapbox, and I feel the need to go there. Next week, I'm doing a special episode. I know that typically, Girl, Listen is every other Friday, but next Friday, I want to talk about it. Get your hands off my uterus. Get them off my uterus, okay? Yeah, we're going to talk about it because we have seen some really ridiculous things going down. It's just beyond words. And I also understand that there are women who agree with the ridiculous things going down. I know. People assume that just because you're of the same gender or same ethnicity, that surely we must all agree. Well, we know that these are not monolithic experiences. We know that. And I know that there are some women who believe that they should be, I don't know, in the kitchen barefoot, pregnant. I don't know. I get it. But I'm at a place where I do believe, no, it's not a belief. I know. What you do in your household ain't got nothing to do with what I do in mine. Plain and simple. And I'm not understanding why some particular people want to even be the person to decide how you have kids and what you can and can't do with your body. I'm so over it. So that will be next week. Now, Mama, I'm gonna tell you right now, good chance I may drop the word truth because I get a little heated. Not gonna lie to you, Ma. I get a little heated. Gets more than heated. So we're gonna talk about that next week. Yes, we are going to talk about it, Serena, because it needs to be discussed. We've been talking about it for so long. The war on women. It is interesting. Here's the interesting part about Women's History Month. Every year they choose a theme. Every year, a theme is chosen for the month. And this year's theme, check this out. Women who advocate for equity, diversity, and inclusion. Now, we have seen in the past few months how a number of states, a number of persons have made it their mission to remove all types of conversation, programs around diversity and inclusion and equity. We have seen it. We have seen it. Some of them, I'm in the state of Texas, okay? And I've been reading the news, been reading the papers, the electronic papers, specifically with UT Austin, how they were quick to remove anything that looked like DEI and how students are scrambling to try to figure out how do they do what they normally did on the college campus. So I just find it interesting that this is this year's theme, and the attack on diversity and inclusion and equity. Woo, y'all. Mm-hmm. Now, as I was saying before, let me just get right to it. There's a reason why we have to, and I say have to, spotlight what women have done and what other Americans have done in this country. You know, the people who get the chance to write the story, they have a certain way of telling it. And if you let them tell it, they will say that all of this went down with your cooperation. You were happy about it, right? They will erase you, which we have. Well, let me stay on point. We know that if you are not the person to tell your story, that you will be removed from the pages. And so we take this time to spotlight the accomplishments of women throughout the years. Now, today, I'm only going to pick out 3 women today, just to give you guys like a quick highlight. And this morning, my dear work husband, Ron Foster, he asked everyone about the women who impacted their life. And shout out to Danny, who is in the building. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. I will tell you that I had 3 women that came to mind when I think about who impacted me and why I operate the way I operate. My mother is one, and I know you guys have probably heard me somewhere on social media talking about my mom. I know Danny has, but my mother's a retired minister, and I never thought I would ever quote her. Lord bless. I don't know how many times I quote my mother in one day. I am now at that age of quoting my parents. Ooh, Lord forgive me. But these are great lessons that I happily share with a number of people. And just watching my mother as a young girl and growing up. First of all, I come from a generation where we had our clothes sewn for us. And if you're in the same age group, you understand that we would get together perhaps on a Saturday, and we go to Cloth Worlds and we would pick out our pattern and our fabric and our notions and our fancy buttons so that we could all be dressed alike or something similar on Sunday for church. I know y'all know this. I know I'm not the only one who had that experience. But watching my mother and watching how she was able to do what she did in the household. Mother not only crafted dresses for her kids, especially during Go Western, because again, we are in Texas. We had some really spectacular Go Western wear when it came time for it. I mean, I was looking cute. Can't tell me I wasn't looking cute. My bandanas and my jeans, what have you. But she also made home furnishings. We're talking like full-on curtains and pillows and bedspreads. And I recall at one point, mother was getting paid to do a little bit of this, like for her friends and stuff. So there was a spark of entrepreneurship there too. So shout out to my mama, who she's a force to be reckoned with. And my mother talks about me and my driving. If you could have had the chance to see, now, my mama's 5'4", but she drives this Dodge quad cab with a Hemi engine. And back in the day, she was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, running people off the road. I know she was a minister and saved and stuff, but that didn't excuse her driving. I mean, I'm just saying, she's still human. She was doing that, all right? And she loved being up high so she could look down on other vehicles. So shout out to my mama, who was very, very resilient. She is strong. And that's not in a negative way, because I know like nowadays we're like, I don't want to be a strong woman. My mother's strong. She's also very soft, right? But she was the one who, if you started something, mom's going to fight. That's where I get it from. Now, I know she likes to, be all meek and mild. No, mom was a fighter. So trust and believe that. The other two women who I love, who impacted my life, is my third grade teacher, Mrs. Graff. God bless her soul. She helped me with speaking and has left that impact on me. And then the writer Octavia E. Butler. If you've never read anything from Octavia Butler, I highly suggest, if you're a person who loves sci-fi and Afrofuturism, that is the woman you want to get all the books. I mean, I'm looking at them right now, got all of the books. And they're also the books I do not loan out, okay? Because I'm afraid somebody might mess them up. So that's a no. But I absolutely loved her writing. Those three women have impacted my life. So in terms of women, I would love to shout out that I don't know personally, but has impacted history. One is, VP Kamala Harris. I mean, let's think about it. If you think about who she is, first woman to be a VP, first Black person to be a VP, first person of South Asian descent to be a VP. That's big things. Now, I am certain that for a number of us, seeing her in this position, it does give us hope. It does give us the idea, keyword idea, that this country is ready for diversity. Not so much, because, at the end of the day, there are still a number of men and women who really aren't ready to see a woman president. Let's just go ahead and call that spade what it is. Do I believe that seeing her in that position still gives younger women across the board an idea of what they are capable of and what they can do? You're damn right it does. So we are shouting out VP Harris for representing and making history the way that she did. It's not easy, people. It's not easy. I thought about politics back in the day. I did. I really did. It was one of the things I really considered for a hot minute. And then I thought, you know what, with the way that I run my mouth and the way that I get into things, somebody's liable to shoot me. So I thought I need a less hazardous job. And we ended up with going into, training and coaching and photography, because I'm trying to be around for as long as the good Lord will have me here. I also want to talk about what else has happened in the last few years that has impacted the world. The formation of Black Lives Matter, that movement in 2013. There were 3 women. I don't want to get their names wrong. So Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi. Hope I said those names correctly. We all witnessed the travesty, the lack of justice when Trayvon Martin's killer was acquitted. Ooh, I'm trying so hard not to get on all the soapboxes today. I'm trying not to. But that is when they started that movement. And I know people are like, I don't understand. Don't all lives matter? I find it interesting that, we often say until you walk in someone else's shoes, but a lot of us, we don't want that smoke. We don't want it. Like, come on. And I will step out. I'm going to step out on the beauty front. I'm going to talk about this obsession, and I don't mind saying it, with the larger lips, the slightly wider hips, a more voluptuous backside, tanning, okay? We want some of the things that we may find attractive, but we don't want that smoke. We don't want that smoke. I mean, I have seen models who look a particular way, who are ridiculed. But when another model of a different ethnicity goes and gets a little surgery to adopt what someone was born with, it is celebrated, applauded, all the BS. So I'm going to say it. We have to talk about it. We have to say what needs to be said. Now, I was listening to Marvin Gaye just the other day. I keep it in the car on a regular basis. And I can't help but think about how he had a song that spoke about heavy policing. That was then. It is still happening now. Michael Vick, and hear me clearly, I love animals, love them. But the fact that Michael Vick has done more time and continues to get hate because of being associated with persons who dig dog fighting. The value of property, and forgive me, but in the eyes of the law, dogs are property versus human lives, Black human lives. Yeah, it's very obvious to those who look like this. When I walk out of the door every morning, I say my prayers, right? If this is it, then this is it. But there is always this idea of, am I going to make it back? Because I've said it is always hunting season. Always hunting season. Always. And although I don't have kids of my own, I have my nieces, my nephews, my grandson, granddaughters, daughter. I put something out in the universe. You know how we do, put out in the universe. There is nothing more concerning than when your child goes out the door and the time ticks and you haven't seen like a text or something, and you start wondering, is something happening? Has something happened? That's real, right? It's beyond just regular stranger danger. It's real. And that's across the board for a number of families who have a little melanin, right? So shout out to those ladies for creating Black Lives Matter. And yeah, this is the world we're living in. This is the world we're living in. You need to make that an episode. Which one, Dana? Let me know, because I'm going to talk about some stuff. Hey, like I said, I've been getting my neck chopped off since, I don't know, not junior high, high school. I was labeled as militant in high school because, Gwendolyn. My parents didn't raise us to just sit around and say nothing. Sorry, not sorry. My dad did it. My dad did it quite often. As a matter of fact, I get this honest, people. I get this honest. I'm just going to go ahead and let you all know that I am the way I am because I was raised in a house with Houstons and Joe Jackson descendants. Okay. So this is the life that we live here. And we're all the same. My sister's like this. My brothers are like this. I think my nephew has a little bit of it. No, he got it too. Yeah. My niece, not so much. She's a Virgo though. She got a little something now. I may have to work with her, bring her up to speed. My last shout out goes to Simone Biles, her dominance in gymnastics. Okay. Are you guys ready for the Olympics, first of all? Are you guys ready? Because I'm ready. I am like so beyond ready. But let's talk about Simone really quick, because we know she has multiple Olympic gold medals. She has broke tons of records. She has shattered a lot of barriers. But here's the big thing. It is the representation and what she not only represents and presents to young women, but young Black women that says, hey, you love gymnastics? You can go get it, girl. You can go get it. We know she has touched a number of young girls worldwide. But when you see someone who looks like you, people like to downplay the importance of representation. They love to downplay it. Why y'all got to have a Black History Month? Why y'all got to have women? There's a reason why. Because if we don't talk about it, ain't nobody gonna talk about it. Again, the person who gets to write history will write it in the way that they see fit. And they will write you right out of it if you allow them to do so. So although we love to take a month to spotlight something, we're gonna do this all year round. Just in case you didn't know. We don't mind sending out reminders, just so y'all, just so you know. We don't mind doing the reminders. Yes. Okay. So I'm not the only one ready for the Olympics. Yes, we are ready for the Olympics. And although I don't have, is it Sha'Carri Richardson? I hope I got her name right. Because, sometimes I am actually happy that what happened to her. Because sometimes when you think something is not good for you, it works out in your favor, right? That child, I am ready to see her on stage, so beyond ready to see her on stage, but I am ready for the Olympics. And shout out to my sister who is here as well. As I said before, you get the four of us, you get the four Houston kids together in a room. And if you decide to get out of pocket, that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we're going to get into some stuff. We've had some moments when we've decided to band together. We've had some moments. But Simone Biles, man, I am so excited about what I believe she is going to do on stage this summer. Put it out into the universe. But she just continues to show us just how awesome she is. Just how awesome. And although, I'm not a Beyonce fan. Okay. Yes, she's from Houston. Yes, she's a Virgo, but I wasn't really in that age bracket to really love like Destiny's Child and stuff. And I do like her music. I'm just not like, oh my God, Beyonce. It's not where I thrive. But shout out to her too, right? Because we know that she has done what everybody else has done. She's done a country album, and people are hating on her for that. Now, I haven't heard her song. I have not heard Texas Hold'em. Perhaps this weekend. I don't know. I don't know. But I love that she has, topped the charts. Shout out to her, right? But when we get into things, when we show up in places, I get that people feel as if, oh my goodness, why are they here? You deserve to be everywhere the good Lord puts you. Okay? He gave you that genius. He gave you that gift. It is your job, your mission to go out and share with the world. Plain and simple. End of story. And yes, as my sister says, facts. Yeah, these Houston kids, we can get into it. But it is your mission to show up, right? And I think about as a Black woman photographer, there are conversations about how there's not enough of us in spaces. And I don't want to be the first. Somebody's got to be the first, right? Somebody has to say, not only am I going to build this table, because I'm not waiting for you to give me a seat at yours, But the moment I see a spot, I'm jumping at your table too, right? Like I'm going to be at all the tables. Plain and simple. Whenever I show up, it's always running. Yes, it is. It's man. I'm gonna come back to that. But someone has to be the first, and I get it. It can feel awkward, but when you think about across the board, all the women of all ethnicities who have put themselves in a position to say enough is enough, and I deserve to be here. You know, forgive me for not even researching who helped in getting us, banking accounts without our husband's permission. I do know that happened in 1974. I do know that much. I need to find out the persons who assisted with getting that. Because think about it now, 1974, women were not allowed to have their own banking account, have their own checking account. They had to have their husband's permission to do a lot of stuff, buy a car and do things. So when we talk about these freedoms, these liberties that we are now experiencing, somebody had to do that. Somebody had to say, I'm going to go ahead and burn this bra. And let me just go there really quick, because I don't know who's over the lingerie industry. But first of all, they shouldn't be $50 damn for a bra. That is one. And two, they shouldn't be so damn restrictive. I'm just saying. There, I have said it. Oh, right. There it is. I had to make sure I said it, because I do believe a man created the brassiere. I do. Because this right here, that's, we need to leave that one alone. Leave it alone. But there are women out there right now who are finding ways to break down more barriers, open up more doors, create more tables, which presents more opportunities for all of those who are coming up behind us. For my nieces, my granddaughter, right? Somebody's got to do it. Someone has to say what needs to be said. And everybody doesn't want to put their neck on the chopping block. I get it. Gwendolyn feels like, well, shit, it'll probably grow back. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. It's perfectly fine, right? So as I wrap this up, because I want to say before I end this intro to what's going to happen next week, and again, we'll talk about it. Let's wrap this up. Shout out to my daughter who brought in a beautiful baby boy last night, baby Mason. Now, I had already said it, that I believed that he was going to come early, right? He's supposed to be arriving on March 5th. Something told me he was going to be a leap year baby. I just had this feeling. Baby Mason showed up right around 10 o'clock last night. He just got in. He just got in. So we are so excited to be celebrating baby Mason. We'll be putting our eyes on him tomorrow. So I'm so excited to see the grandbaby. And I know people are like, wait, but you don't have kids of your own. I may not have kids of my own, but I do love the children. I do. I love the kids. Hey, there's my work husband, Ron Foster. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon. So this month, we have a couple of things I want to talk about. One of them, we're going to talk about next Friday. And again, I know that typically Girl Listen is every other Friday, but this is Women's History Month, and they are coming for us. And I am just telling you that if you enjoy the liberties you currently have right here, right now, and if you don't believe that your vote matters, I need you guys to kick that idea out and understand that this election, it's about that shit. That it is. So next Friday, we're talking about our youth. Get your hands off my uterus. We're going to talk about the reproductive restrictions, healthcare, maternal health, all the things, the war on women, all the things. We're going to talk about it next Friday. I'm going to work really hard on filtering my language. I get a little heated. I really do. I'm not going to lie to you. I get a little heated because there are so many things that these people could be focused on, and yet and still, We just can't leave women alone. We just can't. We just feel like we have to tell them exactly what it is they have to do and how they do it. And oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much for the congratulations. Yes, we're excited. So excited. So excited. And yeah, for all those folks who believe that it's so easy to get pregnant and then carry a child for 9 months. Now, I may not have carried a child, okay? But I have a number of friends that I have watched their experience, right? My daughters alone, I have watched their experience. Like I said, yes, they are coming. They are coming. And we're going to be talking about it next week, next Friday. Bring your thoughts, whether you are for it, against it. That doesn't matter. The idea is the conversation. We have to have the conversation, plain and simple. We have to have it. And again, I'm going to say it again. There are some women who do believe in this idea that the government should tell us when we should have our periods and everything else. Yeah, I don't believe in that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Oh, next week. Can't wait for it. Until then, though, I do want to say this. If you enjoy what we do here, we have our email list, grhjack.com. Go sign up for the email list. Talk about all the podcasts and a few other things as well. But I will take my glass of Topo Chico. And since Ron is here, not that he inspired me because I was already using my glass, but I'm using my ceramic cup too, Ron, from Hello Healing. I am using mine as well. Not that I'm copying off of you because you had your big mug of healing, but I just happened to have mine from yesterday. And I was like, I want to use it again because it's just really great for like sparkling water drinks. What can I tell you? All right, everybody, it's Friday. It's Friday. Yeah, I'm going to play some outro music and finish my Topo Chico and get ready to enjoy the evening and go see my grandbaby tomorrow. Oh my God. Oh, look, hey, thank you guys. Thank you. Have an amazing weekend. Serena, Danny, Ron, everybody who is going to watch in the replay. Yes. All right. It's time for some going out music. Deuces. Thank you for watching another episode of Guuuuurl. Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.